Section 7. Unit 5, Subordinate Finance Instruments. Introduction and Objectives. Lesson 1, Junior Finance Instruments. Lesson 2, Lien Priorities with Finance Instruments. Lien priority for finance instruments. Lien priority is important because no one wants to get left out when a foreclosure occurs. Everyone who is owed money by the borrower and has created a lien on the property wants to get paid out of the foreclosure proceedings. But if there isn't enough money from the sale, some junior liens may end up with nothing. For the most part, lien priority is determined by date of recording. This is sometimes referred to as first in time. So a first mortgage recorded on June 1, 2001 takes priority over a second mortgage that is recorded on May 10, 2003. But there are certain exceptions. Property taxes get top priority over everything, regardless of recording date. They'll get paid first out of the proceeds from the property sale. Mechanics liens follow the first-in-time rule, but rather than the date of recording, state law may establish that the lien starts when the contractor's work started on the property. For example, a homeowner hires a contractor to build a deck. The work starts on September 1st. After the deck is completed, the homeowner doesn't pay the contractor's entire bill. The contractor tries getting his money from the homeowner, but by December 1st can see that it's not happening, so he places a lien on the property. In terms of lien priority, that lien will commence on September 1st, the day the contractor began work. Ways to modify lien priority. There are a couple of ways that lien priority can be modified in spite of the recording date. The junior and senior lien holders may create a subordination agreement, where the senior lien holder agrees to subordinate or lower its lien position in favor of the junior lien. This agreement must be signed by both lien holders and recorded. Alternatively, a first mortgage may include a subordination clause in anticipation of the borrower obtaining a second mortgage against the property. Any junior mortgage can include a lifting clause. This is a provision that allows the liens ahead of the junior mortgage to be refinanced without changing their priority in lien positions. Without this clause, a borrower with a second mortgage could never get a lender to agree to a refinance of the first mortgage because the second lien holder would immediately advance to first position as soon as the first mortgage was paid off as part of the refinance. Because the first mortgage generally has a larger principal, the lender wants to maintain that first lien position. One requirement of using this clause is that the refinance can't be for a larger amount than remained on the first mortgage at the time that the junior mortgage was created. Using junior finance instruments. A loan that creates a lien against a property that already has been pledged as collateral is a junior lien. The first lien, usually a mortgage or deed of trust, is the senior lien. Some examples of junior liens against a property. Second mortgage. A second mortgage, or deed of trust, can be created at the same time as a first mortgage. For example, a second mortgage may be used when the buyer doesn't have enough cash for the entire down payment. The second mortgage is a junior instrument that takes the exact same form as the first mortgage, the senior instrument, but it's identified as junior by displaying the word second across the front. The term second means that if there is a foreclosure, this loan is paid off second, after the first mortgage. Carryback loan. Another option a buyer may use when there's insufficient cash for a down payment is a carryback loan. This would be a junior loan that's financed by the seller. Note, a carryback loan is a term used for a seller-financed loan. It doesn't always have to be a junior loan, it may also be used to finance the full purchase, making it a senior or primary loan. Home equity loan. Borrowers who've built up equity in their homes obtain loans using the value of that equity. Because borrowers pledge the same property as collateral they used when obtaining their original loan, the subsequent loan becomes a junior loan. Home equity loans and home equity lines of credit, HELOCs, are common types of second mortgages. Some second mortgages are open-end, meaning the borrower can continue to take cash out up to the maximum credit amount and, as the balance is paid back, can draw again up to the same limit, and other second mortgage loans are closed-end, in which the borrower receives the entire loan amount upfront and can't redraw after that. Third mortgage. Sometimes a third mortgage can be used if a buyer has used up all their cash for a purchase and already has obtained a first and second mortgage. The third mortgage will be junior to both the first and second mortgages. Junior instruments will always have a higher risk attached to them because if there is a default, the sale of the property will need to make enough money to entirely pay off the senior lien first before any money goes to junior lien holders. The higher risk involved means that junior loans will typically have a higher interest rate than will senior loans. However, a carryback loan may actually use a lower interest rate, because a seller can be more flexible about financing terms than an institutional lender. In practice, however, sellers often charge higher than the going rate because they know the seller is assuming more risk, since the buyer is unable to obtain traditional financing.